Hey there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I know the recent pandemic panic has been spreading around. Even my school has extended its spring break and made all of its classes online. During this time of isolation and paranoia, what's better than the comfy day of playing games online with friends and watching a laid-back video about random Smash stuff? Now, I know what a handful of you are saying. Oh wow, another random facts video from PK Beats. It's his fourth one in a row, how original. Well, you're kinda right. But actually my last video was an original composition of mine. So you're wrong, hypothetical person. For now though, let's just get on with the facts. And the one I want to start off with today is one a good chunk of you may be familiar with. It's a glitch that, as far as I can tell, was discovered by TommySN on Twitter, whose YouTube goes under the same name. First, let me explain how to activate this glitch. It happens when you use the Lloyd rocket on the 15th frame of villager squatting animation. In training mode, you can do this with the help of the frame by frame mode. Once you've reached the 15th frame of the squat, input Lloyd rocket. After you do that, the Lloyd rocket will be stuck inside of your model, and it's going to follow you wherever you go. If you try to use side B again, it just won't work. And it even sticks around after you've lost the stock, effectively taking away villager's side B. Now, what I'm about to say will be certainly the opposite of pointless or useless, hence the title change to the series now being Random Facts. Because, to be frank with you, if someone can consistently perform this glitch, it has the potential to be really viable. Before, it gets patched out, which I'm almost certain it will by the time the next major patch drops. And with all the tournaments being cancelled nowadays, it probably won't be showcased by the time said patch happens. Anyhow, the thing about this glitched out Lloyd rocket is that, well, it's still active. You won't actually hit opponents by simply touching them. However, the moment they attack you, just note that the Lloyd rocket won't actually blow up until it takes about a total of 12%. So small hits will still hit villager normally, and some hits even clash with the Lloyd rocket. And a well-placed projectile can beat it out too. However, Lloyd will stay active during shield, which can be immensely useful in dealing with shield pressure. It's also active during up B, which can save your skin during an attempted edgeguard. So it isn't exactly foolproof. You can avoid getting hurt by either using projectiles, or just hitting the top half of villager, or any part of villager that doesn't have Lloyd there. But if you get to the point where you're able to pull this off consistently, it can certainly come in handy against an ultra aggressive opponent, since Lloyd covers the entirety of villager's model and his shield. This glitch has been officially called the Lloyd jacket on the Smash Wiki, which I think is a pretty fitting name. Also, the Lloyd rocket will still be active while villager uses their pocket invincibility. Pocket has a bit of in-lag, but if you see someone who's going to approach with an aerial, you can use the Lloyd jacket counter while also avoiding all damage to yourself in a Killer Queen fashion. Moving on from that, in my last video I went in depth about the mechanics of star KOs and screen KOs. You can watch that video if you click on the card in the usual place. After that video, I got a DM from Smash Mario Pro giving me some follow-up information regarding that topic that I'd like to go over. First off, in the current build of the game, you cannot get a star KO in Moray Towers. You'll just have to take my word for it, since we can't test out the guaranteed method with the Boss Galaga item, as that item is unavailable on the stage. Star KOs being unavailable wasn't always the case though. As we can see from this video footage of the Smash Ultimate E3 build, way back in 2018, Bayonetta here clearly gets star KO'd. So Moray Towers used to allow star KOs in its E3 build, but for one reason or another they decided to get rid of this. The second bit of information I got is in regards to the Wrecking Crew stage. This stage also cannot have star KOs in any of its forms, but strangely enough, if we go ahead and make a custom stage with a Wrecking Crew background, well, this is able to get a star KO just fine. So I guess these two backgrounds are different or something? Actually, an interesting fact is that all of the potential backgrounds for custom stages are just reused backgrounds from other stages. With 12 total, we have Battlefield, Tomodachi Life, Wrecking Crew, Kalos Pokemon League, Coliseum, Find Me, Summit, Final Destination, Magicant, Luigi's Mansion, Rainbow Cruise, and Mario Galaxy. Referring to the chart I made in my last video, the only one of these 12 stages that wasn't able to have a star KO was the Wrecking Crew one. All of the other stages have star KOs and screen KOs. But I was still curious to see if this was true for the custom stage maps, and indeed both star KOs and screen KOs are available on each of the stage backgrounds, from what I tested. I'm only showing the star KOs here in order to save some time. But this brings me to the part of the video where I show off facts I learned in the middle of testing. First, pay attention to which general direction Ness's body is facing when he's captured by Boss Galaga. Here his body is facing left, and when he gets star KO'd, the direction he's facing is the same. He'll always be facing the same side during the star KO as he was during the abduction phase of the move. However, if you cape Ness during this abduction phase, while he won't flip to the other side here, he will in the star KO. Right here he's facing right, even after the cape, but in the star KO he's facing left. I didn't notice anything like this happen with Beetle, which is kind of unfortunate, as this one could have been funnier, but so it goes. Lastly, when I was testing out the custom stage portion of this video, I saw that the Beetle item can be thrown through the portal. The boss Galaga, on the other hand, cannot. This is something I actually noticed once before with Mr. Game & Watch's Judge. It happened during one of my stage builder combos, and when I landed a 7, the apples that appeared go through the portal. However, when I later tested it with other projectiles, primarily Snake, nothing worked, so I guess I just kinda forgot about it. Later though, I saw that Toon Link's bombs were able to go through the portals, which I even used in a combo. I guess I just never got around to exploring that mechanic. And I can't say that I'm going to very thoroughly go over it here. There's a lot of projectiles in the game, especially if you include items. All I can tell you for sure is that all of the Link's bombs go through the portals, but none of their arrows or boomerangs do. Before we move on, I want to go over another thing that I learned while testing stuff out. Let's stick to Link. While I was goofing around, I was spamming the arrow while going through the portal until this happened. I waited around for it to despawn or something, but it never did. Not when I went through the portal or used another arrow, it just sort of floated there. However, once I made young Link run into it, he got hit. All you've gotta do to activate this glitch is let go of the arrow the moment you go through the portal. I'm not sure if it's frame perfect or anything, but I did get it fairly consistently, so it might not be. What's also interesting is that the arrow lingered on young Link's model, which, trust me, is not normal. And this didn't go away until he went through the portal. Getting hit by another arrow or losing a stock didn't remove it. Of course, the arrow sticking in the opponent is purely visual, but it's still really funny to me, especially if you get it in a ridiculous position. And this actually works for the other Links too. For young Link, you get to see what the fire arrow looks like without the visual effects, which I think is really cool. But when you get hit by it, it doesn't seem to leave anything behind, so Toon Link isn't sporting any lingering arrows or fire or anything. And for Link, it lingers with a cool glow at the tip. And when you get hit by it, the arrow lingers just like with Toon Link and follows the same rules. I tested the boomerang, but nothing like this happened. What happened was that the boomerang waited until after you teleported in order to appear, but when it appears it does so from your previous location, but that's about it. Originally I was just going to leave any additional information about this glitch in videos specifically about it, but when I got to testing it with other characters, I saw that nothing like the arrow happened with anything else. Granted, sure, I did not test every single projectile, but I did test a good chunk that I thought could have fit the bill. But I either found that nothing happens, which is the case with Luigi's Fireball, Samus's Missiles, PK Fire for both Ness and Lucas, Falco's Lasers, Isabelle's Slingshot, or King K. Rool's Side B, or Neutral B. Or if something happened, it was just a slight delay in appearance, much like with Link's boomerangs. This happened with Pit's Arrow, Samus's Charge Shot, and Inkling's Splat Bomb. So as far as I can tell, this only really happens with the Link arrows. So I think I'll call this glitch the Sticky Arrow glitch. If anyone manages to find another move that has something similar to this happen, please be sure to let me know. Oh, and this does work with Kirby's copied version of the arrows, and as far as I know, it functions the same. Ah, speaking of Kirby's copy abilities, Xeno had brought up a topic in my Discord that I, frankly, did not know about, in regards to Kirby. Now, to some of you, this may be considered common knowledge, but did you know that Kirby's copy ability does more damage than the ability it's based off of? If we use a fully charged Fail Knot at the same time, Kirby will take 34.8%, but Byleth will take 41.7%, exactly 20% more damage. And it does make sense, it's pretty difficult to even get the copy ability, let alone use it. But I was curious about how this worked with Shulk. Do the Monado arts get more effective? I want to make sure what the normal effect is. A normal down tilt does 11.4%. A Buster Art down tilt does 15.9%, a 4.5% increase, which means Buster Art makes Shulk's attacks deal 1.4 times more damage. Kirby's normal down tilt does 7.2%, and with the Buster Art it does 9.3%. This is a 2.1% increase, which is, well actually it's just a 1.3 times increase, not 1.4. Just to get more precise, I tried it with up smash, which does 18% normally, and with buster mode it does 23.4%. This increase is also 1.3 times, not 1.4 times. So it seems that instead of making the Monado arts 20% more effective, it actually decreases their effects. It's harder to test with jump or speed, so I can't say for sure there, and Smash Art proved inconsistent when I tested it as well. But the buster art fact alone is something I'm fairly certain about. And final fact with Monado Kirby, but did you know that while jump increases the height of Shulk's up B, it doesn't actually do anything for Kirby? It's pretty unfortunate. While we're still talking about Kirby, Hello Chrissy brought up something that interests me regarding the taunts. As we're probably unfortunately aware, on quick play you are unable to taunt. And this is normally the case for Kirby, as I am spamming taunt right now. However, once you obtain someone's copy ability, now you can taunt. Only once though. This is probably because that's the only way Kirby can manually remove whatever copy ability he has. What this means is that Kirby is technically the only character who's able to use taunt buttons on quick play. Even though I much prefer the Kirby dance taunt, which is my favorite tied with a simple edge run. Oh, speaking of tying, here's a question I've been asked pretty frequently in the past. What happens when both players get KO'd at the same time in sudden death? Normally, when two players get KO'd at the same time, what happens is that they go into sudden death. So what happens after that? It's not like they can go into suddener death. Well actually, my buddy Luke Casual was informing me about various tie situations in the game, and he did go over what happens in the case of a tie in sudden death. The winner will be chosen based on who dealt the most damage. You can easily get a simultaneous KO in sudden death if you're using the same character on an Omega stage, go to each ledge, and crouch. In this match, player 2 won because they dealt 4 HP, while player 1 didn't do anything. In this match, player 2 won because they dealt 9, while player 1 dealt 8. In this match, player 1 dealt the most damage overall, and so on and so forth. In the case that both players dealt the same amount of damage, the winner seems to be random. Now what happens if we include a third person? Let's say player 3 deals the most total damage out of everyone, but then SDs, leaving a sudden death between the two remaining people. What happens if there's a tie then? Well, unfortunately for player 3, the winner is player 2, who dealt the most damage out of the two who were present in sudden death. So it doesn't decide based on who dealt the most damage overall, but rather who dealt the most damage out of the two who tied. Overall, this topic is pretty interesting to me, mostly because it seems to have removed the existence of port priority. What port priority is in situations where a tie needs to be broken, the winner gets chosen based on port priority. The highest port is player 1, with second being 2, then player 3, and so on and so forth. Port priority is still present in this game though, but not in many areas. For instance, if two players try to pick up an item on the same frame, the player with lower port priority will pick it up. Here you can see that I'm the one who picks it up despite being player 1, because the CPU is treated as having a higher port. And the only attack that seems to still rely on port priority is Isabel's fishing rod. Here the player with the lowest port priority will always win if the move is inputted at the same time. For all other moves, they either both hit, clash, or in the instance of grab moves that don't clash like Ganondorf or Falcon's up B, the one whose move connects seems to be random. So in this sense, Isabel's fishing rod is very unique, and I have to wonder if this somehow relates to the Isabel fishing rod glitch that was popular back when the game came out, which has since been patched out. And that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the facts and tests today. I did go a bit more in depth with each individual fact than I normally do, so I hope you don't mind that. Since I've got way more facts than I usually do after making a video, despite still not having even read the comments of my last two videos, I intend to release another facts video next Saturday as well. The same day Animal Crossing New Horizons releases. Now don't let my surplus of random Smash tidbits deter you from leaving a comment down below asking me a question, or telling me a fact that you like. I'll be catching up on comments later, I promise. Till next time, stay casual, and I'll see you later.